on the season after a very tough April. It was a tough one. We had to play a lot of good teams. A lot of teams are going to be in the conversation for World Series. And I think it's a great opportunity right now for Blue Jays Today to kind of react to those World Series odds. Now that we are a month in the baseball. Because I remember when we walked into this thing, we were looking at it. Nobody knows anything about anything at that current standpoint. You know, like we were like 2 at that moment. We were like, that's a little bit too high. They had the Braves really down. I was like, that's a bit too low. Now we've seen some teams. We've seen who's breaking out. Here are the odds right now, folks. Let's take a quick look at what is going on. And I do think that number one is pretty self-explanatory there. Like that plus 500 for the LA Dodgers. Now, I don't necessarily think that they're going to win 1 in 5 times. I don't think I'd bet on it just from a betting standpoint. Right. But I do understand why they're the favorites.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. I mean, in our power rankings for every single week, they've been number one. And spoiler alert, they're going to be number one again.
They're probably going to be number one.
They're going to be number one again, guys. But yeah, we're still number 2. How do you feel about that being... Our odds have actually lowered. Like, meaning like you don't get as much on your return.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? Is it because
I think it does make sense because we're coming out right now and we're showing that we're beating good teams. You know, good teams, and we don't necessarily know. Like, is Boston a good team this year? I'm actually not convinced yet that they are. Houston's just over 500, I think, or they're at 500. So I'm not necessarily convinced that they're great either. But we're beating supposedly good teams right now. We're showing that we can. I do think that. Maybe I don't know if we're going to win 1 in 7 times. I don't know if that's what that's telling me right now. I don't think that I would do that.
Yeah, I don't think so either, guys.
But I do believe that the hype is very real, and being 15-8 after the month that we just had, having the pitching performances that we've had from Gausman, from Manoah, from Berrios, who's starting to turn around from the bullpen, you have to think that that's got to get us somewhere here.
Look, the pitching has been phenomenal, and it's funny because actually our team ERA isn't even that high, but it feels like we said before, like our pitching is so polar opposite. The guys who are good, the guys who are bad are really bad.
Yes.
And that's why we're having, like, as a whole team ERA being up there. I think I actually have it right here. Our team ERA is 19th in baseball.
Right.
With a 3.76.
But that's not, I think that's not super indicative as to what's going on, because when we throw out our, Taylor Saucedos and when we put out our Kikuchis and whatever, they're bad. They're not doing us any favors at all. Yeah. Ryu's still chilling on the IL right now with like a 14+ ERA or something along those lines, right? But our elite pitchers, the guys who we would be playing in the playoffs if we get there, I think that they're pretty dominant.
Right.
Do you think that we belong ahead of the Mets at plus 75 right now, or plus 750?
No. And that's the thing is, like, I feel like these betting odds, they're all determined based on how many people are betting, right? Yeah. So obviously a lot of people would love to jump on the Toronto Blue Jays bandwagon, even if you're not from Canada or you're not a Blue Jays fan, like from someone on the outside, I'm like, I want to jump on that Blue Jays bandwagon.
100%.
Same thing that's happening with the Mets, though. Like, why wouldn't you want to jump on that Mets bandwagon?
I do believe that jumping on the Mets bandwagon at this current juncture would be really good. Looking at the odds as well, if I had to bet on anything right now, just from a strictly odds standpoint, plus 1,600 for the San Diego Padres, who seem to be doing it without their best player right now. I mean, I feel like those are pretty solid odds right there.
Yeah, plus 1,500 with the Giants. That's a good one, too.
They continue to wow me because, I don't understand. I think that something about that coaching staff is very, very good over there at the Giants. Also, I do hate to admit it, but the Yankees are starting to rise up this.
And they should.
And it is very... We're going to get to that in the power rankings, but like there's a lot of things to like about the New York Yankees right now. They're winning. They're winning dominantly. And when you look at the team stats, it's like, okay, it's all pretty damn good right here. What do you think? Baltimore Orioles plus 7,500? Is it worth it?
Smash it! Oh, God, no. Oh, God. I was looking at some, like, low sleepers here. And, like, what do you think about the Angels? They're in the middle, but 2,500 for the Angels.
I mean, I'll fill you guys in right now. They're going to make the power rankings. I'm not going to tell you where they're at. But they are going to make it just based on how they're doing. Mike Trout is an absolute god.
Yeah, he is.
And we're just seeing why, when he's on the field, he is the best player in baseball because he is so goddamn dominant. I mean, I don't know exactly what their pitching staff is looking like right now. I think it's a little bit better than it was last season, but they are winning ball games. So, plus, I'm not bought in 100% yet, but plus 2,500 does seem pretty good. I'm kind of shocked that the Cincinnati Reds are are still higher than the Baltimore Orioles
right now. Yeah, dude, the Reds have had one of the worst starts ever.
I mean, I think at this rate they're going to be eliminated by the end of May.
Yeah, for real, for real.
They're not even going to be in playoff contention by the end of May.
That's really, really bad.
Wow. All right. Toronto Blue Jays second in the odds for the World Series.
Let's go.
That's pretty damn nice, dude.
Don't bet on it, but I like it. But I feel it's a nice compliment.
Yeah,
it's a nice compliment.
It's a pretty good compliment.
Yeah.